Friends, today we are going to talk about a movie in which a genius scientist leaves everything for his family, but one mistake of his destroys the whole world. And then his son fights an impossible war with time to bring everything back. This story will shake you from the inside. The story begins with a beautiful morning. Here meet our hero Gabriel White, a brilliant physicist, loving husband, and caring father. Gabriel is going to Princeton for a relativistic dynamics conference, and his wife Marika and little son Errol have come to drop him at the airport. Before leaving the house, Marika is saying, "Hurry up, we will get late for school." Errol is playing chess with his father. The game is unfinished, and he says he will checkmate in 3 moves. Gabriel has an old pocket watch that his grandfather gave him, and he always keeps it with him while traveling. Little Errol asks if he will get the watch when he comes back. Gabriel smiles and says yes, promises he will come on Friday, and they will finish the chess game. He says, "Don't reset the board." At the airport, Marika says, "Call me as soon as you land." Gabriel says, "Sure." Both say, "I love you." Errol says bye and says, "Just tell Grandpa." And just like that, Gabriel leaves on a normal trip. No one had any idea that this was the last time. The next morning, Marika gets Errol ready for school. She asks, "Did Daddy call?" Errol says no. The neighbor's daughter, Grace, comes. This is the same girl who will become an important part of Errol's life later. Marika tried Gabriel's voicemail, left a message asking how the conference is. She will make a special dinner at night. Come hungry. No reply came. In the evening, Marika and Errol are waiting for Gabriel's flight at the airport. Flight 767 from Newark has landed. All the passengers have come out, but Gabriel did not come. Marika asks at the counter. They say maybe he got stuck in customs. 1 hour passed. No sign. Errol asks, "Did Daddy come?" Marika says no, not yet. Marika's fear starts growing. She calls Gabriel's Hotel Empire Place in Princeton. The hotel person says Mr. White is checked in. The phone rings, but no one answers. She gets the room checked. Gabriel is not there, but the luggage is there, and there is no message either. She immediately calls her father, Professor Sal. Sal lives in Princeton, is a respected professor, Gabriel's father-in-law. Marika says Gabriel did not get off the flight, is not in the hotel, phone is off. Sal says yes. After landing, he met me. I showed him a workspace on campus. He needed a quiet place to work. After that, when he did not answer the phone, I thought he was busy. Marika says something is wrong. Sal says I will find out. Marika contacts the police. Gabriel left on Wednesday. The last person who spoke to him was Sal in Princeton. Frustrated, she says, "You are the police. Do something at least." But there is no lead. She requests her friend Joanne to keep Errol for a few days. She herself will go to Princeton. In Princeton, Sal and Marika go to that workspace. There they find Gabriel's shrink-wrapped crates and a strange thing that was not there before. And the biggest shock, Gabriel's wallet and phone are lying there. Without phone, without wallet, where did he go? Marika says call the police. Sal wants to ask people on campus. Marika shows Gabriel's photo in a local diner and asks. She gets the answer no, haven't seen him. She returns broken. Friends, now time takes a long jump. Errol is no longer a little child. He is a grown-up young man in college, but the childhood shine in his eyes is gone. One night he wakes up from a strange dream. His girlfriend Grace is with him. Yes, the same neighbor girl Grace. Grace asks, "Was the dream about your mother?" Errol says no. Marika has returned from some lecture, tired. Errol makes breakfast. A letter has come from MIT. He got admission but did not accept it. Errol avoids the topic. Then it is revealed that he stopped Dr. Wong's medication. He says he does not want to stay numb. He wants to feel like himself. Marika is worried, but Errol avoids the talk. In the lives of both mother and son, a deep sadness has settled because of Gabriel's disappearance. In college, class is going on. The professor wrote a problem on the board. Only 2 minutes were left. No one could solve it. Then Errol says this is unsolvable. There is one extra variable. The value of Z is needed. The professor is impressed, and this professor is none other than Grandpa Sal. Later, Sal says, "I don't understand. You don't submit assignments. You don't come half the time, but you ace every exam." He asks, "How did you see it so quickly on the board?" Errol says, "I don't know. It looks like a wrong color, so I understand immediately." Sal gives him an advanced problem. Errol says, "I can do it. It will take a few hours." Sal says it took me a week. And friends, now comes the biggest turning point. Sal takes Errol into the lab. He says, "Listen carefully. There are multiple universes. We live on one track." Before going to Princeton, Gabriel had found a way to go forward and backward. Errol is in shock. Sal explains that Gabriel stabilized a traversable wormhole, moved the accelerated end into the past, and traveled through it. In old boxes in the storage room, they found a device in which coordinates were stored. GPS minus 19,655 days, meaning calendar year 1946. Gabriel flew to Princeton, assembled everything, and went to 1946. Something bad happened there. Otherwise, he would have come back immediately. Sal says if he knew exactly, he would have fixed it years ago. He is not a quantum mechanics specialist. He had to learn black holes and cosmic strings from scratch. In Gabriel's notes, it is written that he created negative energy, but how? He does not know. Errol asks, "Why are you telling me now?" Sal says, "You have a gift, even more than your father. I cannot do it alone." There is proof. Gabriel's handwriting, 67-year-old ink, revolutionary research. And it seems Gabriel wanted to meet Einstein. Sal says if we fix it, everything will become normal. The last 12 years will become the way they should have been. We are living in an alternate reality. Errol says, "Grandpa, Mom struggles so much. This is fantasy. Did you tell Mom?" Sal says, "No, only you, and let it stay that way." Errol leaves, broken from inside. Grace's thesis is in 2 weeks. Errol meets her, supports her. They both have a plan to watch a show at night. Marika has an art exhibition where she shows paintings of family photographs. She removes the figures from the originals as if they were never there. She alters her memory sources. Hearing this makes the heart feel heavy. She expresses pain through art. After the exhibition, Sal takes Errol to one side and says it is years of work, all based on Gabriel's notes. "Let me walk you through it." Errol asks his mother about Gabriel. Marika says he is dead. After returning home, Marika and Errol have a deep conversation. Marika shares memories. They used to play chess, watch movies twice a month. On science nights, he explained concepts with toys. She loved Gabriel but cannot remember his face. She knows him only through photos. Then she tells how they met. Sal introduced them in Princeton. Love at first sight. 1 month later, he proposed in the old diner. At first, she hesitated because he was a workaholic, but Gabriel said, "I can change the world and still come home for dinner every day." And he used to come. Marika says she gets recurring dreams. Maybe he fell in love with someone else. Maybe he got amnesia. Maybe he wanted a different life. Errol stops her. "Mom, don't do this. You are in a rut because you stopped the medication." Marika says she does not want to stay numb. She says, "Your father never broke a promise?" She remembers his face at the airport as if he knew something. Errol, frustrated, says, "There is no meaning. He left. He died." Marika breaks down. At night, Errol goes to Grace and says he cannot go to the show. Mom is not okay. He cannot leave her alone. Then he says this is why he is not going to MIT. Grace understands. Then Grace gifts a Lego set in which there is a small baby figure, a childhood connection. A sweet moment, but painful too. And friends, then happens the thing that changes Errol's life forever. Reaching home, he finds Marika unconscious. She is not breathing. Pills. Errol screams, calls the ambulance, cries, but it was too late. Marika could not bear that pain. Why the love of her life disappeared, where he went. Errol is shattered. After the funeral, he goes to Sal and asks, "Is there any chance this is true? Walk me through the research." Sal says the secretary has access to the lab but knows nothing. It should stay that way. Don't tell anyone. Grace's thesis presentation is successful. Errol is there. Later she asks, "What do you do in the lab with Grandpa?" Errol says wormhole theories for fun. Work in the lab gets faster. Errol and Sal work on Lorentz transformation. 3 dimensions, XYZ axis parallel, relative velocity, Cartesian system. Errol finds a solution for negative energy, but he explains how dangerous it is for a human to pass through a wormhole, and his father was killed there. One night Grace comes into the lab. She directly asks, "Is this related to traveling to the past through a wormhole?" She reads an old report. A victim had a gunshot wound, no identification, pocket watch and keys were left, no witness. Errol says this is my father. This has to be stopped from happening in 1946. Chances are low, but we have to try. Grace says, "I believe that you believe it." Errol asks why Sal did not tell Marika. Sal says he was not sure he would succeed. He did not want to give false hope. And if Marika had latched onto this possibility, Sal already feared that she would take her own life. They both talk. If this worked and Gabriel came back, then what about the last 12 years? Errol says his parents would be alive. He would be happy. He would not live in fear. There would be no memory of this life. Grace says sounds perfect if they are together, but she says nothing is guaranteed. "You were attracted to me because a parent was missing. The first time you stayed at my house was when Mom had gone to Princeton. None of this will happen in the new timeline." Errol says we were inseparable even before 2000. "We will be together, I am sure." Both say I love you, but tensions increase. Grace is frustrated that Errol takes the chessboard and things to the lab. She says this is our life. Talks of marriage, new house, family. "If you get a chance, will you keep resetting life?" Errol says what is wrong in wanting parents who are alive. Grace says it is not fair. "I did not choose that." And then Grace drops a bomb. "I am pregnant. Now how will you correct it?" The ground slips from under Errol's feet. It has been 5 weeks. Grace says stop the work. Errol says maybe I cannot. Grace says, so this is your answer. When Sal finds out, he says, "Do not mess with other elements. This has to be corrected, not turned into an ideal world." In the lab, field stability is terrible. Errol has been stuck for weeks. Grace's pregnancy reaches 8 weeks. The doctor says it is early, but it looks okay. Frustration in the lab. The tangent vectors are correct, but the accelerated end does not work. Sal's secretary, Mrs. Moore, asks, "Are you okay?" Sal says it has been a long time since anyone asked that. Mrs. Moore says, "You are always alone. If you want to talk, I am here." Sal says, "I wish I could." Sal calls Grace about Errol. Grace says she does not know. "When he comes, I am asleep. When I leave, he is asleep." She says, "You gave him the idea of correcting in the first place. So what difference does it make now?" Grace and Errol have a deep talk. Grace says, "Every day I am scared that everything will disappear, but I want you to fail." Errol says, "We have been stuck for weeks." Grace asks, "Did you ever think that maybe Dad was meant to die there? That it was his natural course and this is ours?" She says, "I like this life. I love you the way you are." Errol says, "The way I am, I will become a terrible father. I want a clean slate." Then he asks, "Can you guarantee that this baby's soul will be recreated?" Grace is silent. Errol says, "I will stop. There is no guarantee. I cannot lose you." Sal says Marika's first suicide attempt happened when Errol was 15. Sal told Marika to move forward, told her to meet someone else. She refused. There was an argument. Sal said it is foolish to keep clinging to a memory. The next morning, the first attempt. She could never stop loving Gabriel. Errol says, "Now I have my child to protect." Then some good days, they look at a new house, 4 bedrooms, plan the wedding, light jokes, but life cruelly defeats them again. Grace has a miscarriage. The doctor says the pregnancy was very early. Maybe it was not viable. Stress could be a factor. Errol's heart breaks again. Errol is in the lab. He says, "This is not my life. Dad does not die in an alley. Mom does not take pills. My child does not spontaneously. Every time I try to commit, something says no. I can clearly see everything that should have happened. Grace would come to Cambridge. There would be a family." Sal says, "It is up to you, kiddo." And then comes the breakthrough. Errol says, "Earthquakes. We want to land from here to the 1946 spot. Earth's movement, solar orbit, nutation are all correct. But in spin rate, I forgot that seismic events alter mass balance. From 1946 till now, there have been 31 major earthquakes. Japan alone shortens the day by 1.8 millionths of a second. Add ocean currents and atmospheric winds, exact coordinates appear. I was not putting in the right variables." Sal is emotional. "You did it. A plan is made." Errol says, "I will go, not you." Sal says, "If it does not work, then your life will remain." Errol says, "This timeline will continue. If it did not succeed, then you will know because nothing will change." Errol's plan is, talking at the airport is not enough. Gabriel will have to tell Marika. Sal says, "Make sure he does not do it again. Our only asset is Gabriel's memory in 2000 and 1946. That alone will survive after the correction. He has to be shown the damage without taking him out of reality." Errol meets Grace. He says, "Next time we meet, a whole life will be in front of us, promise." Sal gives a sealed letter, instructions that he should visit Professor Kale's chemistry department on 15th of May 2012. Why? Mrs. Moore will be there. Sal also wants happiness for himself in the new timeline. Sal says emotionally, "See you in another life, kiddo." Errol sits in the machine and goes across time. Friends, now we are in 1946. An old diner in Princeton. Errol is sitting there. A woman says the professor is out on his Saturday walk. He orders coffee. A man named Johnny comes. He is friendly, treats him to coffee. He asks, "Where are you from?" Errol says, "London." Johnny says, "Welcome to Jersey." Then another person comes, and friends, this is Gabriel White, young, full of life, but he does not know who is in front of him. He says he is on a theoretical physics scholarship, writing a paper on wormholes. He asks, "What is your name?" Errol says, "Errol." Gabriel stops. "My son's name is also Errol." Errol asks, "What angle of wormhole theory are you researching?" Gabriel says the implications of a stable wormhole. Then Errol directly asks, "Do you love your family?" Gabriel says, "Yes, both my work and my family." Errol says, "In my experience, you have to leave one of the two." Gabriel says it is about balance. Errol says, "You are better than me. No wife, no children, both parents dead." Pause. "Actually, father is not dead yet. He left me at the age of 9, dropped me at the airport, Princeton trip, was supposed to return in a few days, never came back. My mother waited a lot. She went to school, became a professor, but she could not come out of that confusion of where love went. She thought maybe he ran away with another woman. She was destroyed, took her own life. Then Grandpa said we could search together. It took years, but we did it. Haven't seen him for 12 years. Gabriel's face changes. Recognition comes. Errol says, "Oh my God. So tell me about Einstein. That is why you are here, right? Gabriel asks, what happens to me? Errol says, tonight you get robbed. They kill you. So much work and some people do it for money in your pocket. He shows details: suit, pocket watch, keys. Then he says, this is all you missed in 12 years. Gabriel asks, how did she die? Errol says, pills, third time. She could not bear it. Errol says, I lost everything and built your dream. All this happened because you did not tell what you were doing. Gabriel says, I tried many times. Errol says, you never said I am building a machine. Gabriel says she did not want to hear it. I thought I would travel, come back. No one would know. Gabriel says this is the biggest discovery in history. Errol says, no, choose family or this. Gabriel immediately says family, always family. Then he is emotional. Is it really you? You became a man? It took you less than a year for what took me decades. Your mother was right. You are a genius. Errol says, I am not a genius. I was selfish, neglectful. I had a life with Grace. I ruined it. Gabriel is shocked. Little Grace? Errol says only you can fix it. But Gabriel says, give me 2 days. Let me finish the work. Einstein will help build safeguards. Errol angrily says there are no parameters. Einstein spoke against the bomb. If one more person used it, then chaos. No exceptions. Go back now and destroy it. Gabriel says the technology is not flawed. I was careless. Errol says mom died because of this. What does that mean to you? Errol says, I know you think it is safe, but look at the chart. Why did you not stop me before I left? Why did you take the risk of coming back? I wanted to see the result of your hard work, that glorious unknown for which you left everything. I hoped you would go back immediately and erase my 4,556 days. I would have been a child, looking at you with wonder. The problem is, I know how you think. We lost the same things, but I had to feel it. I saw a loved one die. I built safeguards. You say you love mom and me? Gabriel says more than anything. Errol says they love you too. Go back and remember the person I became because of your choices. Silence. Gabriel breaks down. He understands what his curiosity did. And friends, Gabriel goes back. The machine activates. Scream, light, and everything changes. Now we are back in that morning in 2000. Little Errol is in front of the chessboard. Pawn to pawn 3. The door opens. Marika says, look who came. Gabriel is standing there. Back, safe, before time. Little Grace says, hi, Mr. White. Marika says, you came early. Gabriel smiles. Everything is the way it should have been. Gabriel understood his mistake, came back, chose family, forever. Friends, this story teaches a deep thing. Sometimes we run so much behind dreams that we cannot see the real treasure, our family, our people. Gabriel had the biggest discovery in the world, but one mistake made his son alone, pushed his wife toward death, destroyed the whole family. And then his son, who lost childhood, lost mother, lost love, risked everything to bring it all back. The question is, if you had the chance to fix the biggest mistake of your life, would you do it? And how much would you sacrifice?